GR Corolla explodes through the canyons, snorting boost, spitting gravel, and clipping apexes like it's chasing down a grudge. Behind the wheel, Jonny Lieberman. He's driven everything from Bugattis to beaters and written brutally honest takes on all of them. One of the most recognizable voices in car journalism. But today, he's on O's Shift, our slightly unhinged playground, and somehow he fits right in. His ride? A blue Toyota GR Corolla, tuned and tailored to start trouble. Massive front intake, matte black 1552 wheels, a custom four-way exhaust that screams rally violence. And yeah, he built it to embarrass Porsches. Why the GR Corolla? I mean, I could tell you it's because Toyota's engineers, led by the same Gazoo racing team behind their WRC cars, developed it in secret, tested it on rally stages, hand-assembled it, and designed it to feel like a homologation special. But really, it's because it's turbocharged, all-wheel drive, manual only, and proudly unpolished. A car that demands to be driven, not just owned. Jonny could have dailied anything, but he picked the rowdy hatch with real-world bite and gave it just enough bark to make Stuttgart nervous.
You would have told me, hey, at one point in your life, you will own a Toyota Corolla. I would have been like, oh no, I fell on really hard times. Like, what went wrong? This is not a Corolla, it's a GR Corolla. For my job, I do get to drive everything. I mean, it's my job is to drive every car and have an opinion about it. I've always, for some reason, just been steered towards little hot hatchy Japanese things. I wanted, when I was 25, I had some cash all of a sudden, and I wanted to buy an Audi S4, and I went to the dealer. I couldn't even get a sales guy to look at me, and I grabbed a sales guy, and I was like, I want to buy that yellow S4 wagon, and the guy was like, no, and I got so mad, I walked to the Subaru dealer, I bought a WRX. This is October of 2001, and bought the WRX wagon, came back and honked and was just like to all the Audi salesmen. But then I started modifying that car, and I was very young, did everything wrong. I read forums, never read a forum. Everything bad you could do to a car, I did to that car. And final straw was a 3-piece racing clutch. It made it undrivable unless you're on a racetrack. I never went to a racetrack. And then luckily, this drunk 19-year-old rear-ended me on Thanksgiving one night with my mom in the car. So I got a new WRX wagon. I left that one stock. In 2014, 15, I bought a Fiesta ST. The GR Corolla, we had one, Motor Trend, we used to do this thing, Performance Vehicle of the Year, I think we called it. We had a lot of great cars that year, a Z06, GT4 RS. My second place was the Corolla. Sadly, I couldn't afford the 765 LT Spider, which I think I voted, that was my favorite car. But, for a tenth the money, there's this thing. I liked it because we were way up on Angeles Crest by the ski lifts, and we're coming down. I think I was in a Lamborghini Technica, and I'm cruising, and I'm kind of tired, and I see headlights behind me, so I pull over, let them go by, and it's Corolla Z06. And I'm like, oh, they're really going for it. And I jump in, and because we were at speed, we couldn't gain, me and the Z06 could not gain on the Corolla at speed. Yeah, drag race, the Corolla would be dead. But I was like, I like that car, and I loved how it drove, and I was like, that's impressive. So I bought one, and I hate the way the tailpipe looks. A stock center tailpipe, looks like a cat's butt. I hate it. And my friend Sean has a white one, like that one, but he had 4 pipes on it. And it was just like the original Boxer. It had a big butthole, and then they split it, and it solved the problem, right? So I was like, I want that. FI exhaust in Taiwan. They gave me a very nice discount, I should say. AeroWorks out in the City of Industry installed it, did a great job. I was happy. That's all I wanted was my car to look better, because I was really happy with how it drove. And then I put it on Instagram, and everyone's like, hey, you want a new intake? Hey, you want this, you want that, you want to tune your ECU? So now what sits behind me is a very modified GR Corolla that I think will surprise a lot of people, especially people that own and drive 911s. up in the canyons. There's an intake. You can see it right up front. The little red box says even Turi, but actually it's like this big. New radiator, new intercooler, and an oil cooler on its own channel. All those are from Jackson Racing, a company called ECU Tech out of the UK. They provided the reflash, and I've been working with a buddy of mine, Zach, at Counterspace Garage, and we've actually done 24 reflashes of the chip on this car. And what I do is I do a lot of data logging with him where he has me go through certain things like, get to 2400 in third gear, go all the way to 7000. And so I've done 24 sessions of data logging and he sent me back 24 reflashes. We're getting ready for the 25th. FI exhaust, which is a catback downpipe exhaust. The wheels are from 1552. Toyo gave me some Proxy Sport 2. Brakes, the rotors and the pads and the brake lines and the fluid are from Terox. I believe it's pronounced Terox, T-A-R-O-X. And then got a tint, got some mud flaps. It's wrapped a little bit, that's basically it. Future upgrades, we're getting into, if I really want more power at this point, probably need to upgrade the cams and the turbo, but if you do that, then you probably want to raise the red line, then you got to replace the valve springs and probably the head gasket, then you got to do the clutch. You need a new fuel delivery system. It's all there. I don't know how undrivable I want this thing to get. My wife already hates the way it sounds because when I put the intake on there, all the soundproofing is gone. So it's just, you constantly hear the out of the turbo. I don't know. I might get another one and then really make that one into like a drag monster, but pretty happy with the car as is. One thing that makes me go, oh, shift about this car is just how it runs around on canyon roads. This car is not designed for the track. It's not designed for you. It's designed for me specifically to go up Angeles Crest Highway and have a really good time doing it. The big turnout on Angeles Crest, I live 12 miles from the big turnout. I can be there from my front door in not a lot of time. And I do that constantly. I love doing it, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And when I close my eyes and think about my car, I just think about shifting from third to fourth, getting past Angeles Forest, and heading up to the fun part of the road where there's no traffic. The big thing about building your own car compared to driving press cars, which I do for a living, is I don't care about press cars. My motto is AMC, ain't my car. Sad thing is, that's my car. So I'm constantly I'm gonna blow it up. It's gonna blow up. Something's gonna go wrong. Oh my God, I gotta pay for these tires. I hate paying for tires. That's to me the big difference. The other thing that's fun is you ever drive a car, you're like, ooh, I wish the brakes were a little bit better. Well, I took one of these on a track. The brakes are good, it's just they get hot. Stainless steel brake lines and DOT3 fluid. My brakes don't get hot now. Oh, I wish it was a little bit quicker in a straight line. Now it's a lot quicker in a straight line. You wind up with the car you actually want rather than ooh, that would be nice, and then the car goes away. The nice thing about getting a GR Corolla is you just go down to a Toyota dealer and hand them 38 grand or, a couple dollars down and make payments. It's not that expensive. It's not, super cheap. Cars are expensive right now, but you can get the base Corolla. It doesn't have the carbon roof, but still 300 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque and 25 for, I think they're $38,000, which that's a bargain. Premium Plus, you're getting closer to 50,000. I think I paid 47 for this one. This is the Circuit Edition, which they no longer do. And then used, here's the great thing, right? It's a Toyota. Toyota, they do focus on reliability, and it is a skeezed up high horsepower motor that's probably someone's gone through the clutch, but compared to buying an old Evo or an old Subaru, you're probably, all things being equal, there's not a lot to worry about with these cars. They're pretty bulletproof. My understanding is at the factory, they take the body in white, they do 250 spot welds to stiffen it up. This one's the 24 Circuit Edition, carbon fiber roof. Well, carbon fiber roofs are actually a big deal on economy cars. Why? Because you're stiffening this big floppy piece of metal up there, it really makes the steering better, especially when you put this thing into 30/70, where only 30% of the torque is going to the front wheels. Suddenly you have, and you're gonna laugh until you drive it back to back, you have Ferrari, modern Ferrari style steering, where it's over boosted, but kind of in a nice way. Even though it's over boosted, it's still precise because it's so stiff. Stiff body also means the suspension is gonna work better. One thing I haven't changed, I'm not gonna change on this car, is the suspension, because it just handles so great. This thing will go around corners, shouldn't say this on camera, but over 100 miles an hour on certain corners and it loves it. You know, it wants more. I had Dario Franchitti. He was driving this thing and he was impressed. This is a guy who drives around in the Gordon Murray T50 for a living, right? Like, he was like, wow, this is a Toyota? It just does all those things. It's a 3-cylinder, which is 300 horsepower from the factory. So it's, 100 horsepower per cylinder, right? I keep telling Toyota, hey, you could make a 3.2 liter V6, that'd be 600 horsepower under stress. The block, it's intended for WRC, for rally, so the block can take like 800 horsepower. You gotta change all the internals out, but probably sitting at like, I don't know, I haven't dynoed it yet, but like 360, 375 horsepower, and it's totally drivable. My wife drives it when I have the truck somewhere, and plus it's all modes. So when you turn this car on, it's just stock. We actually made it, it's called Marizo Plus. It's the old Marizo tune from the 23 Marizo. We've made it a little bit more than that. But anyway, so it's not crazy, and then there's different engine maps. There's actually a 4th map we haven't unlocked yet, but I could put like E85 in there and get, a lot more power. It's not a normal Corolla. And I mentioned briefly the center diff, and this is what's really cool about the 23s and 24s compared to the 25s. Turn the car on, it's 60-40, torque split front to rear, push a button, 50-50, twist a knob, 30-70. For 25, they added more torque, but you can't select 30-70. You put it in track mode and it defaults to 50-50, and then based on conditions, supposedly it can go up to 30-70. I like that I can control it. Boom, it's in 30-70, which is it's a great way to drive the car around. I caught a McLaren 570 and I sat on the dude's bumper for like half of Angeles Crest. Now, was the guy driving fast enough? No, but I was like, okay, like this is pretty good. Usually I get to like run away from people, but there's a buddy of mine, and he's gonna say he was asleep, and I'm sure he was, but Tosin Abasi, who's, I think Rolling Stone said he was the 97th best guitar player in history, and, if they weren't so racist, he'd be a little bit higher. But he's a guitar player for Animals Leaders, but he's actually, I think, a better driver than, no, I'm just kidding, but he's an insane canyon driver. And he has this GT3, which is modded like crazy, and it's all aero mods. And I actually caught him. I came up on him. I'm not gonna say I caught him, because I don't think he knew he was being chased. But I caught him. He's like a bat that haunts Angeles Crest. He's just like unbelievable. So that one really surprised me. I remember 2008, the 2009 GTR just come out, right? Godzilla. And I had one, and I was running around Angeles Forest Highway, where that old cafe used to be that burned down. And I ran into a pack of supercars, like a 4th gen Viper, an M6, new at the time. And then this one, I remember he was a dentist. This one dentist had a Ferrari F430. A group of people gathered, and we're all showing off the cars, right? And I remember the guy sitting in the driver's seat, and he's going through the tire pressure monitor display. On the Ferrari, it shows one tire at a time, and you can cycle through and see the tire pressures. And I was like, oh, you think that's cool? The GTR, you can see all 4 at the same time on the screen. You want to see it? I remember the guy sitting in the car, and he's just like, man, I just don't care about that car. And I was like, okay. And then we started driving, and I just left him for dead. You want to diss my car? Let's go for a drive.
GR Corolla, tailored to humiliate Porsches and fit in no apologies for it.
Yeah, why do I want to embarrass Porsches? I don't really. I actually own a Porsche. But when I was, right out of college, my buddy and I, backpacked around Europe type thing, and we were in Nice, and we decided to walk to Monaco. There's a little footpath, go to Monaco, and it was so hot. I was wearing like way too much clothes. We're dying of thirst. It was kind of before water bottles were a thing, so we didn't even have water bottles. And we had no idea, we're just idiots. Anyhow, we're dying. We're literally gonna overheat, heat stroke, dehydrate, all these things. We're in this town called Cap d'Al, which is this hyper wealthy part of the world, like just so rich. And I walked into like a country club, yacht club, whatever, to get a bottle of Avion. And this dude, I'll never forget this dude. He was this blonde guy, but his skin was darker than his hair. He was so tan. And he just looked at me with disgust. Like I've never been looked at like I was like an animal. And just this look on his face, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. He was just so, the way he looked at me. And years later, I got to go back on a Rolls Royce trip and stay at that place where he stared at me like that. So I like to, I'm good enough. I have every right to be here, same as you type thing. And yeah, okay, I have a Toyota Corolla, but let's drive, I deserve to be on this road as much as you do.